Jai Hind everyone, welcome to the Patriotic IAS. Now we will start the Hindu newspaper analysis. Again, before entering into the discussion, again I would request you to please join, subscribe to the Hindu newspaper. And yes, this platform is not to save your 6 or 10 rupees on a daily basis, but to save your time. That is much more precious. And respect the hard work of the Hindu. Today's the main news we will start. This is news with respect to the general information that Boeing 737 MAX 8. It is in the news due to the malfunctioning and error in the different parts that has been reported across the world, particularly also in the case of India. So one thing you should know that this MAX 8 is the part of Boeing. The Boeing is a company that makes the aircraft. UPSC can ask that MAX 8 and MAX 9 was in the news. They are associated with what? So there could be the 4 options, the Boeing, HAL, Dassault. So you have to make the choice as for the options. Just that is the news. And other thing is data is given that where it has found the malfunctioning and which area. That is not relevant for you. Second news that is important. This is associated with the majority of Indian cities far from the clean air target. So as per government program, that is National Clean Air Program, NCAP, we are targeting to reduce the particulate matter. This two type of the particulate matter, PM 2.5 and particulate 10. Okay, PM 10. So as per this program, the target is to reduce the pollution level of this particular particulate matter to the 20 to 40% by the 2024. But as the government found that the city's condition is not that much good, so that is shifted to the 2026. So it is like the famous dialogue of the gangs of Wasepur कि तुमसे ना हो पाएगा बेटा, तुम्हारे लक्षण अच्छे नहीं लग रहे हैं. तो on this basis, this has been changed from the 2024 to 2026. And other thing that is given under this news is that most of the cities have the deteriorating condition of the air quality, and few of exception is like the Varanasi, where we have found the reduction is this PM 2.5 particulate matter, and also there has been the 69% reduction in the PM 10 particulate matter. For the monitoring and tracking of these pollutants, we have established ambient air quality monitors, this device across the cities, and we have seen that this device track the fluctuation in chemical pollutants through the day. Other information that is provided that the only 4 of 92 cities that was part of the analysis, they have such monitoring device. Only 10 such stations that install these devices. Okay, and Varanasi, like cities like the Varanasi has improved in this condition as well. Initially it was the one station and it was functioning for 24% of the daily basis, but now there is the 4 station and they are operating whole days. So this is all about this. This is news from the environment, pollution. This news is not important. The tussle that is going between the Donald and Trump, that will be Donald Trump and Joe Biden. This article is talking about the partially built Ram temple being inaugurated for political advantage, says Sankaracharya. Sankaracharya has said that everything is being done by the Modi ji and the government, so our role has neglected. So they are not happy. And उन्होंने बोला है कि हमारे हिंदू कल्चर में ये नहीं है कि बीच में ही हम इनॉर्गेनेशन करें. जब पूरी मंदिर बन जाती है देन इनॉर्गेनेशन इज बीइंग डन. सो अभी जो आधे अधूरे मंदिर को बना के इनॉर्गेनेशन कर रहे हैं, दिस इज टारगेटेड टू द पॉलिटिकल गेन द गवर्नमेंट वांट टू गेट इन द 2024. But this is not important. This is just political thing. You don't have to care about that. But the UPSC asks a lot of questions from the secularism. So this is associated with the concept of secularism. You should know that what is the concept of secularism in India. I will briefly bring concept of secularism in a very brief manner. You should just know that secularism in word has been defined in two major types. One is the Western type of the secularism, one is the Indian type of secularism. The clear-cut definition of secularism is that there will be the separation between, there will be wall of separation between the state and religion. मतलब स्टेट का फंक्शन अलग होगा, रिलीजन का अलग होगा. दे डू नॉट इंटरेक्ट विद ईच अदर. यहाँ पे रिलीजन खड़ा है, बीच में दीवार है. दे हैव टू सर्व द सोसाइटी. दे ऑल्सो हैव द सर्व द सोसाइटी बट इंडिविजुअली, नॉट इंटरफेयर विद द ईच अदर. स्टेट का काम तो वहाँ होगा जहाँ पे यू हैव टू कंस्ट्रक्ट रोड, हॉस्पिटल्स एंड अदर थिंग, schools, different things that help the people independent of the religious association. रिलीजन का काम है कि सर्व करना, लेकिन ये होता है कि फिलोसफिकल, मेंटल रूप से पीस देना कि हाँ देयर इज द गॉड, देयर शांति बना रहे, धर्म अक्रॉस द पीपल, दैट इज स्प्रेडिंग, दैट इज द पार्ट ऑफ द रिलीजन. बट द सेक्युलर स्टेट डजंट इंटरेक्ट विद द religion and neither religion interact with the state. This is a clear cut definition of the western type of the secularism. इंडिया में हम इस डेफिनेशन को नहीं फॉलो करते. हम नहीं कहते हैं कि बीच में वॉल ऑफ सेपरेशन है. वो कहते हैं कि स्टेट यहाँ पे खड़ा है और यहाँ पे रिलीजन खड़ा है. स्टेट एंड रिलीजन. और ये कहते हैं कि स्टेट विल बी इक्वी डिस्टेंस, थोड़ा सा डिस्टेंस मेंटेन करेगा. ये जो स्टेट है, स्टेट का मतलब गवर्नमेंट से भी ले सकते हैं, लेकिन स्टेट में गवर्नमेंट भी आता है, पॉपुलेशन आता है, टेरिटरी आता है, एवरीथिंग कम्स अंडर द स्टेट. स्टेट के डिफिनीशन में 4 एलिमेंट होते हैं. एक तो गवर्नमेंट इज द वन ऑफ दिस सोवरेन गवर्नमेंट. सेकेंड इज द लैंड टेरिटरी, दैट इज डिफाइंड एज द टेरिटरी. ओके. Third is the population, and fourth is the sovereignty. We will discuss this definition of state in a very detailed manner when we will study the political science. Leave everything here. So Indian definition is that स्टेट विल बी इक्विडिस्टेंस फ्रॉम द रिलीजन. यहाँ पे रिलीजन का मतलब है बहुत से रिलीजन होंगे, लाइक द हिंदुइज्म, इस्लाम, क्रिश्चियनिटी, जोइज्म एंड अदर्स. लॉट ऑफ रिलीजन विल बी देयर. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि अगर स्टेट इनके लिए कुछ कर रहा है तो इनके लिए भी कुछ करेगा, इनके लिए भी कुछ करेगा, इनके लिए भी कुछ करेगा, इनके लिए भी कुछ करेगा. सेपरेटली केवल इनके लिए नहीं करेगा. सो दिस इज द डिफिनीशन. रिलीजन को इंटरफेयर करेगा स्टेट, लेकिन रिलीजन स्टेट को इंटरफेयर नहीं करेगा. ये इनको कहेगा कि आप अपना टेंपल कैसे मैनेज कर दिए ताकि पीपल पे निगेटिव इम्पैक्ट ना हो, लेकिन रिलीजन नहीं बोलेगा कि आप ऐसे अपना स्टेट, अपना फंक्शन चलाइए, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कीजिए. दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द इंडियाज. अगर जैसे मोदी जी राम टेंपल में जा रहे हैं तो कभी किसी मॉस्क में भी जा सकते हैं, चर्च में भी जाते हैं और गुरुद्वारा में भी जाएंगे. यू मस्ट हैव सीन द फोटोज ऑफ द प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी. ही इज विजिटिंग एवरीवेयर. सो दिस इज दैट ही विल ट्रीट ऑल रिलीजन इक्वली. सो दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ रिलीजन. आई एम डिस्कसिंग हियर बिकॉज दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. यूपीएससी पिछले 5 सालों में 4 बार मेंस में पूछा है. लेट्स शो दैट हाउ इंपॉर्टेंट इट इज. हाँ, ये 2022 में पूछा कि are the tolerance, assimilation and pluralism the key element of making of an Indian form of secularism? Justify your answer. 2022 में पूछा. 2019 में यूपीएससी के मेंस में पूछा what can France learn from the Indian constitution's approach of secularism? 2018 में, 2019 में एक बार और पूछा what are the challenge of our cultural practice in the name of secularism? 18 में 2 क्वेश्चन पूछा. एक क्वेश्चन ये भी है, हाउ द इंडियन कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ सेक्युलरिज्म डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द वेस्टर्न मॉडल ऑफ सेक्युलरिज्म. दिस shows that the importance of the this secular concept. So this is very important. You should know that what is the difference between the different form of secularism और इंडिया के फॉर्म का secularism क्या मतलब है. एक क्वेश्चन और है. Let's see that question. कहाँ गया? प्रीलिम्स का क्वेश्चन. प्लीज ऐसे क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं जो हमने अभी मैक्स 8 पूछा कि रिसेंटली सीन इन द न्यूज मैक्स 8 इज एसोसिएटेड विद, ये ऐसे हो सकते हैं. दिस इज जस्ट one more thing we should know from this is that as it is talking about this comments come from the Sankaracharya. So we should know that this concept of Sankaracharya, this is particularly associated with the ancient history or this concept of Sankaracharya. The comment is coming from the one of the Sankaracharya of the Puri, this Purvanaya Govardhan Peeth of the Puri, and one is from the Uttarakhand, Jyotish Peeth in Uttarakhand. So this is not important. Most important is the concept of Sankaracharya. The first Sankaracharya was the Adi Sankaracharya. Adi Sankaracharya of 8th century. He was a philosopher. He gave a philosophy from the Orthodox Hindu school, Orthodox Hindu school, and the name of that philosophy is the Advaita Vedanta. We will study in a very comprehensive manner what is this concept of Advaita Vedanta. It is associated with the non-dualism, means monoism. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि there is the one truth, one reality in the world. मोनोइज्म, नॉन डुअलिज्म, दो सत्य नहीं है, सिर्फ एक ही है मोनोइज्म. और एक सत्य क्या है? व्हाट इज दैट ट्रूथ? वन, व्हाट इज दैट रियलिटी? Only the Brahm is real. Brahm, Parmeshwar. Brahm is real. Other thing, whatever we see, this is the transient. These are just illusionary, and they are not real. So Brahm is only real, and other thing in the world, whatever we see, we can touch, we can surround it around us. That is all the illusionary reflection of the Brahm. वो परमात्मा का सब reflection है. इसी में एक कॉन्सेप्ट आता है आजीवात्मा एंड आत्मा. Okay, so this Ajivatma is reflection of the Atma. Atma means the Brahm, and Ajivatma means whatever the worldly position and worldly order. These are all the transient things. So you should be very clear that Adi Sankaracharya was associated with the 8th century, later ancient history and the early medieval history. He gave the concept of Orthodox Hindu school of philosophy. And what is the concept? Advaita Vedanta. This talk about the non-dualism and monoism, and it's also talk of Ajivatma and Atma. So Atma is the Brahma, and Ajivatma is the worldly position and the other activities that we see, and under that we play. So you should know. And you should also know, दिमाग में ये आना चाहिए, you should always link with the 8th century. 8th century we know it is for the Rashtrakutas, Pallava, Chalukya in the south, Palas in the east, and Pratiharas in the central and north India. So you should be clear, we will all study, but interconnection is very important in UPSC preparation. Next important news that I found is this Kateel Yakshgana Mela in the Karnataka, and you can use this. This is relevant for the art and culture because this Yakshgana is popular in the Karnataka, and this is the drama and particularly the theater form of the Karnataka, and it is based on the mythological stories and Puranas. Okay, so this is important, and this Yakshgana style is also famous in the Andhra Pradesh. There it is in the style of the Kuchipudi. So Kuchipudi, and here it is the Yakshgan, and this is there it is the dance drama. Here it is the theater form of. Okay, so you should know that this is based on the mythological stories of and Puranas, and the popular shows are based on the Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, like the Draupadi Swayamvar, Subhadra Vivah, Abhimanyu Vad, Karan Arjun Yudh. These are all things in the Ramayana. This is Rajyabhisek, Laukus Yudh, Bali Sugru Yudh. These are the things that is taken under this. From the environment, you should know that to curb the noise pollution, we have noise pollution regulation and the control rules 2000. This is important here. Okay. This was in the controversy because there is the use of the loudspeaker, and from the dusk to dawn, शाम से लेके सुबह तक ये चलता है. So there was the opposition from the colony, people from the colony, that they are not able to sleep and they have to work, they have to go to the work in the early in the morning. So that's why, but yes, it was first ban, government didn't allow, later it was the petition in the Karnataka High Court. Karnataka High Court allowed, but it's allowed on the basis that they will follow this, they will not violate this noise pollution regulation and control rules. So this is important. Yakshgan, theatre form of the Karnataka, Yakshgan style is also found in the Andhra Pradesh in the form of the Kuchipudi. Okay, we will read all this thing in our art and culture section. Next important article we will cover news this. India UK signed 2 deals during the defense minister visit. So this is related to the GS paper 2 and India UK relations. This new deals that has been done with respect to the defense collaboration in research and development. So this can be used at the new development and further point whenever you are going to write answer with respect to India and the UK relation, and it is very important with that shows that India and UK is coming together. Other important is that bilateral international cadet exchange program. So this is again one more point you can get. One important significance of this is that this is the first visit in the last 20 years from Indian Defence Minister to the UK. Enhancing defence and industrial cooperation, that is the area where we are also discussing in this visit. One more, this letter of arrangement has been done with respect to this particular collaboration was with the DRDO, Defence Research and Development Organization, and UK's Defence Science and Technology Laboratory. And this will help in enhancing the people-to-people exchange. One more thing you should remember whenever the relationship with the EU or any nation of the EU comes, that India's demand is always to liberalize the visa and entry of the Indian person, because yes, we know that a lot of Indians go abroad for the work, skilled professional as unskilled, but mainly in the UK, Europe and US, the demand for the skilled professional is more, and that's why Indian side of demand is always give more and more liberal entry, and EU and other developed country always ask India to reduce the import duty, because in the India import duty is very high. The Mercedes and other luxury vans and vehicles that you see, their price is not that much as we pay, because when it comes the price of many of these vehicles goes 2 times 3 times, because there is the 200-300% of the import duty. Otherwise no one will buy this Bolero and this Swift, this thing, because they cost for the 10 lakh, 12 lakh. But if the import duty will be reduced, the Mercedes will cost 18 lakh, 20 lakh, 25 lakh. So in the same cost, we can afford the Mercedes if the foreign, these luxurious vehicles, the price will reduce if the import duty it will be reduced. Next important article that we are going to take is this article, this news, particularly this is associated with the minority status, and this is a very long drawn case. This has been in the controversy due to the minority status and reservation in the minority college. The recent verdict that has come, regulation by the statute doesn't rob a varsity of the minority status, Justice Chandrachud. This is the observation. Still, the final verdict has not. We have not received the final verdict. So this is associated with the history as well. You should know that this is associated with the Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College. It was established by the Sir Syed Ahmad. So you should know all the history, how this case is going on. First thing you should remember that it was established in 1877 by the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Okay, so he was a Muslim reformer. He established this college as the Mohammedan Anglo-Oriented. Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College. MAO College. It was in 1877. It was established to impart the modern education as well as to balance with the Islamic principle and philosophy. So it was to mainly impart the modern education to the Muslims as well as the balance with the Islamic principles. Second thing comes in 1920 when government came with the Aligarh Muslim University Act. Aligarh Muslim University Act of 1920. So it established this collection of the many colleges surrounding the Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College and this college and some other associated college that was combined under the Aligarh Muslim University under this act, and this act provided governing body. It is the governing body. The governing body is known as the Court of University. And as for this act, the members of this court should be only from the Islamic faith. So this is still here. The third thing you should know in the historical background of this, in 1951 the act was amended. This act was amended and this only representation from the Islamic faith was removed. So anyone from the any faith can be part of this court of university. And the second amendment was brought that only Islamic education will be not the part of this university. So all the educational values will be course for the study. After that again, fourth, 1965. Again, this act was amended, and in this act, the court of university here, the appointment is done by the nomination. It was brought that the nomination will be done by the President of India. That is, the post name is the visitor, but it will be the President of India. So it become the nominated body, and people from the any faith can be the part of this. Okay. So after this amendment was challenged in the Supreme Court by the Aziz Basa case in 1967, and it challenged that this amendment is attack and violation of Article 26 that gives the power to administer and the religious denomination, its organizations. It also challenged for the violation of Article 30, where the right to minority to establish and administer their educational institution is violated. So this violation, this was challenged in the Supreme Court. Under Supreme Court, they rejected all this violation, and they came with the proposal and the last verdict that as this university was established by the Central Act, so it is not given, it will be not given the minority status. Everything was left unchallenged. Means so this challenge was done null and void. Okay. So this amendment was intact, upheld. I hope you are clear the story with this. Then again, new turn come in 1981. Government again amended this act, and now they brought that this university, one statement was brought that this university is established by the Muslim of India. So established by Muslims of India. And one more thing is added that this will promote the interest of Muslims of India. So this will promote the interest of Muslims of India. So for the 20-25 years there was no controversy regarding this thing. The new turn in this case come in 2005. In 2005, Aligarh Muslim University AMU brought 50% reservation in postgraduate medical course for the Muslims. This reservation of 50% for the Muslim in the medical course was challenged by the Dr. Naresh Agrawal. Naresh Agrawal in 2005, and it was challenged in the High Court, and Allahabad Court come and particularly the AMU challenge the challenge of Naresh Agrawal and its group that actually by the 81st Amendment, the verdict of Aziz Basa case was nullified. But the Allahabad court struck down this argument, and it's upheld the Aziz Basa case. Aziz Basa case. It upheld that a university established under the Central Act cannot be given a minority status. So here in this news it has mentioned that as Aziz Basa case was upheld. Okay. So after this Allahabad verdict with nullified and rejected this 50% of the reservation for the Muslims, the university and the central government reached to the Supreme Court for challenging this verdict of Allahabad High Court, and this was further sent to the Supreme Court under the constitutional bench, and now it is being heard in the Supreme Court, and this is just one statement of this is a statement we should wait, and this is also dealing with a very important uh, condition for the minority on what case and condition a college should be provided with the minority status. The first is that an institution could be regarded as a minority educational institution for the reason that it was established by the person belonging to the religious or the linguistic minority, or it's being administered by the person belonging to religious or linguistic minority. So this is the condition under which we provide the minority status. Is it clear? So after this verdict, we will get clarity that what is the basis under that we can declare a college institution as a minority, and that is provided under the Article 30 that any institution, religious institution or the minority institution has right to establish and administer its educational institution. So this will we will get clarity. Now I hope you are clear with that when it was established and what is the case. Next article. Next article news we can take is this. This is related to the PIL that want to increase the deposited money while candidate by the candidate or during the election filing, electoral filing and election of the legislature and parliament. So previously, as per this PIL, they are asking that please increase, give direction to the Election Commission of India to increase the number of the rupees amount that candidate deposit, because the as the amount deposited is very less as compared to the amount these candidate spent on the election. So this is related to the section 34 of the Representation of the People Act, and this talk about the amount. What are the amount? As per now, it is 25,000 for the parliament for the general candidate, and for the SC STs it is 12,500, and for the state legislature it is 10,000 for the general candidate and 5,000 for the SC ST. So this clause define, but it was rejected because it is not in the matter of the High Court, it is the policy matter of the legislature, that's why it is rejected. And this deposited amount is forfeited in the case that if the candidate getting very less amount, less vote, such as 1/10 in the normal condition, and if there is the more than one candidate for the same constituency, it should be the 1/6 of the total polled vote divided by the total number of the candidate. This is the, you don't know, need to go into that much detail. Next news is associated with the web blocking. So it is you can use in the internal security that the number of the web blocking by the government had increased, and as per the data in the 10 years, as per the data in 2013 it was 62 blockage, but in 2030 it is 6,954 blocking of the website. So this is showing that how the price of the data had decreased, and there is the more and more violation. Next news that is important is this music master Rashid Khan passage away. So you should know that he belonged from the which Gharana? Anyone? Anyone of you? He belonged from the Rampur Sahswan Gayaki Gharana, and it belonged to the Gwalior Gharana. Gharana is like the different form of the music, like the Jaipur Gharana, Gwalior Gharana, Lucknow Gharana. So it is like the, if Lucknow Gharana means the musician of that particular region, they develop some particular style form of the music and the dance. So you should know that there is the two major form in India for the music, that is the Carnatic music and the Hindustani music. This is part of the Hindustanic music. Different features of this Gharana is that emotional content may be alap. Here is also the features medium to slow tempo. A full-throated voice, intricate rhythmic play. These are the features of this Gharana. And the emotional tone is brought in the alap, bandis, or the giving expression to the meaning of lyrics. So these are the thing that is being used by the this Gharana and particularly Rashid Khan. What are the award he has received? He has got Padam Shri Sangeet Natak Academy Award as well as the Padam Bhushan Award. And West Bengal government has also awarded him a Banga Vibhushan and Sangeet Mahasamman Award. Rashid Khan was also famous for the slow elaboration in his Vilambit Khayal and use of Sargam and Sargam Tankari. Okay, so Tarana is also associated with the music. You should know. He is also mastering the Sufi fusion. His famous Naina Piyase is famous for that. Jugalbandi is also feature of Rashid Khan, and Jugalbandi, you know, there is the two artists, one instrumental and one musical. They contest to each other. This news with respect to the coaching institutes, there is the misleading claims by the coaching institute. This has been in the news, and it is particularly news due to the Central Consumer Protection Authority has sent them the notice, and also many of them are imposed with a penalty. There has been found that the many of this coaching institute, they claim different thing like that they will complete the syllabus in a particular days, but they do not complete in particular day. They claim that they will if you will take admission, there is surety of the selection in the prelims, mains, like in the UPSC and other examination as well. And also they claim of the particular teacher will teach them, but in the reality the other teacher is teaching, as well as the claim of the number of the selection is very much misleading. Even अभी अभी किसी ने नाम भी ले लिया उस किसी टॉपर्स ने, भले कभी he is not taken the admission, but नाम भी ले लेने से they claim that this topper is from my institute. अगर एक घंटा के लिए भी गया कुछ पूछने के लिए just for the doubt, or the even they fill up the form of registration, तो भी claim हो जाता है. Because if you when the results comes, you will see that the each coaching claim that they have there is the 500 selection, 600 selection, and if you will add up the number of the selection, it will be 10,000, 20,000. But the seats are just 800. So how this 10,000 numbers comes? It is due to the misleading claims, false claims. So this is news particularly protected by the Consumer Protection Act, and now look what is going to happen. Next news. Next is important article we are going to cover is the editorial. This already in the store day discussion we have discussed already. We discussed a lot about this Bilkis Bano case. Something is that you should know. Here it is talking about the as Gujarat government was equally complicit. This is the statement that is mentioned in this article. Few things you should know, like the prison is a state subject. This here it has provided that the prison is a state subject, and prison rules of each state identify certain reformative and rehabilitative activities. So it is talking that here we follow the reformative action, not the distributive punishment. So our main aim is to reform those who are convicted and make them a good person to live in society. One thing that is, again, I will revise here that for the remission, it is necessary that for those who are for the life sentence, they should serve minimum 14 years before applying for the remission. This judgment of Supreme Court, Laxaman Naskar versus State of Bengal. Here, Supreme Court provided what are the ground under that remission should be considered. So these are the area chance of recurrence of crime in that person, whether there is the chance to do the crime again is reduced or not. Socioeconomic condition of the convict's family is also considered. So these are the points that is provided under the consideration. So you should know this Laxaman Naskar case of the Supreme Court, but here the article is telling that this is subjective, and that's why this is being, whenever there is the subjectivity and discretion, so there is always misuse by the state, and state government misuse it for their favor. One more thing you should know, this Epuru Sudhakar case, and under this case it was this decision by the state government for the remission brought under the judicial review, and for the judicial review these are the ground under that judicial review will be there. In the last it is concluding that there should be the clarity that either it should be the ground for this cases remission will be not provided, or there should be a standard guideline that this will be considered for the giving remission. So there should be the clear-cut objective list of guidelines for following this. We will also take this editorial. This is associated with the condition of the GDP. Already we have discussed that the real GDP of India is now considered, it has been projected 7.3, and GVA is 6.9. Already we discussed that what is difference between the GDP and GVA. GVA, gross value added, is included in evaluation or the evaluating or reaching at the GDP. So GDP is equal to the GVA plus taxes minus subsidies. Here it has mentioned, this point provide information that agriculture, livestock and forestry and fishing sector that provide largest number of the work as well as the value outside, the economic value outside is second largest in this sector after the services. This year there has been impact in the Kharif season, and there is the lag, particularly sowing in the Rabi season was a bit late. This also provides that the private final consumption expenditure is the largest component of the GDP. So you should know that the largest component of the GDP is the private final consumption expenditure. And in this there has been this years it has been the lowest in the last 20 years. So this is the cause of concern that this editorial is providing. This editorial is talking about it is good that the Tamil Nadu government has garnered a large amount of the investment promises and memorandum of understanding. It is around 6.64 lakh crore and 633 memorandum has been signed. तो इतना है तो इससे इम्पैक्ट काफ़ी आ सकता है, जैसे कि जॉब क्रिएशन में वी कैन यूज़ दिस मनी, और इसको वी कैन इंक्लूड फॉर प्रोवाइडिंग अदर एक्टिविटीज़ एंड इंडस्ट्रियल एक्टिविटीज़. और यहाँ पे मेंशन है कि कौन कौन से एरिया में वी कैन डू ग्रीन एनर्जी, ई व्हीकल, नॉन लेदर फुटवेयर. दिस आर द एरिया वेयर द तमिलनाडु हैज़ ए गुड कमांड एंड दिस इंडस्ट्री कैन बी डेवलप्ड. आगे के नेक्स्ट में इट शोज दैट कि डिस्पाइट गार्नरिंग दिस मच मेमोरेंडम ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग, बट टू डेवलप ऑन द ग्राउंड लेवल इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. Okay, so here it is talking about the translating memorandum of understanding into the actionable reality is a difficult thing. That is talking about that this shows that the Tamil Nadu government want to balance the regional development. In the next, this line, it is provided that even the Vietnamese companies like the EV leaders, VinFast has taken it as opportunity to enter into the Indian market through the Tamil Nadu. So you can also use it in the international relation, in the relation of India with the Vietnam. So recently, Vietnamese companies is working in India, आप लिख सकते हैं इसको फर्दर पॉइंट. So what are the things that now Tamil Nadu government should do to provide the investor access to the Chief Minister office and grant clearance for the project through the single window? If there will be the delay, the project will not materialize. It can be और delay होते जाता है और हर years lakhs of crores of investment comes, but in the reality no development takes place. उसके ये reason है. और Chief Minister also should monitor all these activities थ्रू द स्पेशल कमिटी. ये अच्छी बात है कि चीफ मिनिस्टर ने एक कमिटी बना दिया है अंडर द मिनिस्ट्री इंडस्ट्रीज मिनिस्टर. मेन रीजन क्या है कि ये जो भी इन्वेस्टमेंट है वो ग्राउंड लेवल पे नहीं आ पाता है. एक लार्ज एरिया ऑफ द लैंड की जरूरत होती है, उसको एक्वायर करना काफ़ी डिफिकल्ट होता है बिकॉज देयर इज लॉट ऑफ प्रोटेस्ट. व्हेनेवर यू गो ऑन द ग्राउंड फॉर द एक्वायरिंग दिस लैंड, पीपल स्टार्ट प्रोटेस्टिंग ऑन द डिफरेंट ग्राउंड. तो ये यहाँ पे कर सकते हैं कि प्रॉपर कंपनसेशन वी कैन प्रोवाइड. And the important thing is that Chief Minister should also take the periodic update of this progress. So these are the things you can use to write whenever the question comes on why this investment doesn't turn into the ground reality. This article is talking about the comprehending Lord Rama in all his dimension. तो ये थोड़ा सा philosophical है. ये this is not that much not relevant. यहाँ पे थोड़ा controversial issue भी है कि राम का क्या मीनिंग होता है. वो थोड़ा सा I will just summarize कि अगर ऐसे में कभी क्वेश्चन पूछता है कि राम राज्य एंड सिया राम या जय श्री राम एंड राम राम हे राम, ये सबसे रिलेटेड कुछ आता है तो यू कैन एक तरीके से यू कैन राइट दिस कि अभी जो हो रहा है राम का द एग्रेसिव वे, वो हम पहले नहीं देखते थे. अभी जो होने लगा है कि राम इज टेकिंग बो एंड इन अ वेरी एग्रेसिव मैनर. पहले जैसे होता था कि राम इज वेरी काम पीसफुल एंड ए राइटियस पर्सन. अभी इट इज शोइंग दैट द मेनली एसोसिएटेड विद द रावण वध. तो उससे वही है कि पहले जैसे हम लोग देखते थे राम राम का फेमस होता था, जय राम जी की जय सिया राम. अभी जय श्री राम हो गया है. तो दैट इज वेरी मच इन ए वेरी एग्रेसिव टोन. लास्ट में ये है कि कंक्लूड किया है कि जो यहाँ पे थोड़ी सी बात हो रही है कि हम अयोध्या में जो राम लल्ला है, ये जो चाइल्ड वाला उनका फेज है, उसका हम लोग मंदिर के अंदर बैठाने वाले हैं. लेकिन रियलिटी में हम वो वाला को नहीं प्रमोट करके हम कुछ एग्रेसिव राम को प्रमोट कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पे एक लाइन मेंशन है कि रामचरितमानस में मेंशन है कि वंस व्हेन द भरत गोज टू मीट राम व्हेन ही वाज गोइंग टू द फॉरेस्ट, तो वहाँ पे वो कहते हैं कि राम से कि मुझे पता है कि आप कितने शांत मनचित्त के हैं, कि आप अपने दुश्मनों के सामने भी शांत रहने वाले इंसान हैं, आप इतने शांत हैं. तो हियर इट हैज एक्सप्लेन दैट आई नो द डिस्पोजिशन ऑफ माय मास्टर हु इज नेवर एंग्री इवन विद द ऑफेंडर्स. तो और लास्ट में कंक्लूड किया है कि गांधी का भी राम ऐसे थे कि वो लास्ट तक जब मरते हुए भी हिज लास्ट वर्ड वाज हे राम. तो हमें गांधी की राम भक्ति से हैव टू प्रमोट द राम और सम अदर परसेप्शन ऑफ द राम. तो ये थोड़ा फिलोसफिकल है, कंट्रोवर्शियल टॉपिक है. जस्ट फ्यू ऑफ द लाइंस यू कैन यूज व्हेनेवर देयर इज द एसे. So that's all. Now I will conclude my session here. Thank you for joining the session. We will meet again for tomorrow.